Hello, welcome to the MMA Freak Fight of the Week. I'm Matt Salzer. So I'm going to go over the main event and co-main event of UFC 249, and then I'm going to go over the main event of the UFC Fight Night. Excuse me. So, UFC 249, the main event was Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson was the favorite going into it. This was for the interim lightweight championship. The winner is going to face Khabib sometime during the summer on the fabled Fight Island. We have no idea where that is still. And he hit him with everything he had. And it's amazing how Tony Ferguson, this is also the first time we've seen him in a long time get just properly just manhandled to a very high degree. It's like you haven't seen that happen to Tony for a while. But Justin Gaethje went in there. It's like this slow evolution of Justin Gaethje went in there and just pounded after pounded after pounded after pounded, and just relentlessly until finally in the fourth round the fight was stopped. And so now Justin Gaethje is the interim lightweight champion. He's going to fight Khabib sometime during the summer, probably on Fight Island. That's going to be a very interesting matchup, and it's going to be a matchup that we haven't seen, weren't expecting to see, but it's gonna happen. So it'll be interesting to see. And then in the co-main event, Henry Cejudo successfully defended his bantamweight championship against Dominic Cruz. And this is the first time as well where we have not seen Cruz get controlled in that particular way. We did see Cody Garbrandt control him in a different way, but here we had Henry Cejudo just throwing these like heavy kicks that eventually took, well, and it wasn't the kicks, eventually it was Cejudo's actual punches that did it. And then after this, and then he stopped. The fight got stopped. I think it was in the third round, was it? And then Cejudo just retired right there from MMA, and he's had a good run. So the fact that he retired, it's very interesting. You don't see fighters retire that early. Typically 33 is when you start to see fighters come into their own, because that's when they start to get all the experience they need. So it was definitely interesting to see that happen that way. And Cejudo definitely has more years. Maybe he'll come out of retirement. Right now he's planning on going into business and real estate, so we'll see how that goes. But if this is it, then it was a good run. He accomplished several things that a lot of the average fighter does not accomplish in MMA. So good for Henry Cejudo. So that was UFC 249. And then UFC Fight Night. Main event was Anthony Smith versus Glover Teixeira. And Glover Teixeira returned to his really controlling fight-savvy ways, and seeing Anthony Smith just demolished like that to the point where he said he was losing teeth. That was just one of those things where the fight stoppage couldn't have come any sooner. But anyways, it was definitely a good fight. So this weekend is going to be the UFC Fight Night, Overeem versus Harris. It's the first time we've seen Overeem fight since his lip exploded. And, speaking of which, I'm going to go over one more thing from UFC 249. And that was the Francis Ngannou knockout of Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Francis Ngannou, enough said. He's this big powerhouse of a man. He currently has the per punch power record for the UFC. It's just this guy he's a behemoth. This was a fight of behemoths, and to see this happening is definitely just goes to show that Francis Ngannou is definitely up there, and he's campaigning for a new title shot. So we're just gonna see how that goes. So yeah, that was UFC 249, and then the UFC Fight Night, and then like I said, there's the UFC this weekend. So it will definitely be. It's good to have the UFC finally back, and I have to agree with like Paul Felder and Daniel Cormier. It's weird having empty arenas. I mean, at some point we're gonna have to. It's like at some point we need the crowd back, but it's good to have the UFC back. So that's it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of these two events and what do you think is about everything coming up. At Matthew Salzer is both my personal Twitter and my Instagram. At MMA Freakout is the MMA Freak Twitter. Be sure to check out MMA-freak.com for exclusive content. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.